Crafting Vicky here with you, and today we're here to make a card for, well, in my case it's going to be a card for my husband. Shh, can't tell him. For Father's Day. I thought the cap that I got from Kokorosa Studio would be amazing for this, and so that's my thinking behind this. They have, by the way, an amazing video showcasing how to do this, and on their website, where you can find the when you look for the die, in the description of the die there's a video on how to use this, so in case I mess it up you can go and check out what they did and see it from there. But I thought it didn't look that difficult, so we shall see how it works. I pulled out some of my stamps that I thought could be used for the little word part, and we will use that. I pulled out this here, which is a paper pack that I got at a thrift store. It was $2.75 instead of $6. It's one of those doodle bug design, and I thought, how cool would it be to use this design as a cap, because I wanted the cap to be kind of a different thing, and not just the you know, the typical just one color. So figured we would do that. I'm gonna be putting it on a 6x6 card. I thought of raising it up so that you can still turn the wheel, so we will see how that goes and take it from there, I guess. So hopefully what I do will work out. We shall see. So let's first off start off by removing these little things, and I should have pulled out my pair of pliers and I didn't, so we're gonna remove those little tab thingies. Very, you know, elegant terms, thingies. And then remove these ones. And in their case they'd use the dark paper, but because I want a stamp, I was thinking of using more of a white cardstock so I could stamp on it. So I've got these here, and I believe this would work on there, so I'm gonna use that. Turn this. They're super easy to remove, these little things, so don't worry about it. Okay, so here we go. So I think I'm gonna do 2 of this just to make it a little bit sturdier. Not sure that it's required, but and it's also gonna give me a chance in case I mess up to have an extra one. So, and I want to be able to pull my machine away from my desk afterwards, because it's my Big Shot. You can see I still haven't changed it. It's still the Big Shot that I have that is damaged, but it's okay. It still works, so that's what's important. And obviously because I doubled it up, that's why it's not fully, it's not perfect, because it was very thick. So I'm just gonna run my scissors around the edge and remove the little bit of excess. And I'm gonna put this one anyway in the back of the, I'm gonna use this one as the front, so you really won't see this much. Okay, so that's one piece done. Okay, then I want to do the hat, as I said, in this pattern here. So I'm going to take my hat, and I'm not putting the timer because I have no idea how long this video is going to be. It's going to be however how long it's going to take me to do this thing. I would have liked to use this as the background, but I guess it won't work because my cap is too big to fit into this. Yeah. And I could put it, but then I don't want to because I'm not sure how it's gonna align. So because if I put it, now I'm stuck with this aligning to whatever, and in reality it's gonna go like this, I guess, or like that, I don't know. Anyway, so I'll just use the cap and I'll keep it on the side so that I've got still a big piece of paper that I can use on some other projects, because it's brown on the other side, so it's a paper that I can use for all sorts of other projects, because I know that this pattern is not necessarily one that I would really use. Okay, so then I've got that. And here's my little cap. Isn't that adorable? I think I'm going to use like a marker here to define the cap, like the top part of the cap, just to make it a little bit more, a little bit cuter. And it didn't quite pierce all the way to the end, so let me like just press it, just so I've got the design all the way to the end and I can follow the trail of that to make my line, my mark. So now it's defined. And actually, you know what would be cute? Would be to do the same thing but in the other color, and then cut around it so that you've got the cap in that color but this as the bottom part. So let's do that now that I've had the idea. And then of course you could, I guess, use the opposite. Like now that I have a brown cap, I could, I guess, use the brown cap with this as the base if I wanted. How cool is that gonna be? I think that's gonna be really cool. So let's do that. So I'm coming up with ideas as I'm doing this. Now for the background, let's put this aside because I'm not quite sure yet what color and whatever else I'm gonna do. So I'll put this aside and we'll see what colors I decide to go with. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut around this. And I could have put it so that I had the thing better defined as well. Just to make my life easier. Okay, so then just gonna follow along this. And then I will do this on top here. Oh, this is so much better. I love this. How cool is that? Okay, so pull out my glue gun, the tape runner. I'm going to glue that on top of here. Just make sure following the edges. Always have trouble aligning paper. Why am I not fully on there? This is strange. Did I not go all the way to the edge? No, I went all the way to the edge. This is so strange. Okay, well, I'll just adjust it. So weird. It's not cutting well. It's like it's bending instead of cutting. I think I'm gonna use a black marker. For this part. So I don't want to see the white edge. And I'm still thinking I want to do the line. Edge. That's pretty good. I just need to put a little bit of blue here because I didn't go all the way to the edge, so glue that down properly. And I'm thinking I might want to do some stitching detail because why not? And often there's like a little bit of a stitching detail on the edge of the caps. Just want it to be a little bit more special than just doing the typical cap. Now that's, I guess, that's the artistic part of what you're making. You can do whatever you want. So here we go. Okay. And actually, you know what would be pretty? Would be this. Whoops, where'd it go? This little thing to be glued up here. Again, to give an added little detail and dimension to this. See? I think it makes a big difference. I could do the stitching all around. That might be something. Let me check. Let's see how a regular baseball cap looks like. And let's figure this out. So there is often like stitching like around the edges, like here you can see like there's little stitching marks. So it would be like stitched all around this. I'm a bit afraid of messing it up though. But as I keep telling you guys, this is only paper, so it doesn't really matter if I mess it up. I could always, you know, redo it. It's just that I really like the base, so I'd be kind of disappointed on that, but I think it adds a little bit to the details, but you know, it's up to you. I could like cut it a little bit more, but I don't think I will. I will leave it as it is. Okay, so that's that. Now the question is, what do I want as the background to this? So I'm thinking, what would be fun? Because I'm gonna have a background to the card. Like I'm gonna put something on the card. Then I'm gonna have this with the cap that's gonna be on it. So it's gonna be something like that. So we need two type of papers. And I could leave a little white border because there's white in the cap. So I'm thinking maybe like putting this as the full background with a white border. And then I can do this. And I need two sides to this, but it doesn't have to be two. It could be one, could be this, could be white, and the other side can be the detail. And the reason for that is because we're going to be attaching this part to the back so that it can actually turn. So what do we want as the background to the cap? That's the question. Like I don't want it to be too busy. Could be the green, then it would tie like the green, the orange I find is a bit much. I don't like using two patterns necessarily. The gray could be fun, but then the cap doesn't really show properly, I find. There's the pale blue though, that could be fun. So there's a pale blue. It's going to be something like that. Do that. Or that. That. Or that. This is more tone on tone. This I find is a little bit more punchy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that instead. There's the numbers, but the numbers don't really go. I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna be using that. Okay, this we can cut already, and we can assemble that part so that it's not sitting just on my desk. It's gonna actually be attached to something, so it's gonna be one last part floating about. So technically, if I had not used the gray for the cap, then the gray would have been great for this. But because I used the gray, I'm feeling like it's not so great anymore. And my card is not fully aligned, so let's cut the little edges so that it's more straight. Before we do anything else. Okay, so now I can cut this. I can put this on top. This I can close off. Always useful to have a way of getting some references. Okay, so here we go. Got that here. So I can put that aside. And now I need to do my cuts with this. So let's use this again. And I'm going to put this on top. I try to use it like the edge as much as possible so that I don't waste so much of my paper. The magnetic is not helping me, it keeps twisting it. Okay, so let's run this through. And because I went really close to the edge, some of it didn't go through the machine the way it should have. But that's on me. That's not the die. It's really me that didn't help it along. Okay, so because I really wanted to have the biggest piece possible left over. You know, if I'm gonna have scraps, I might as well keep the best scraps. Okay, so then I'm gonna use the white cardstock and do the same thing with one of the white pieces so that I have a back to this that I can attach later on to my card. And of course I did the same thing, ran it really close, and here in this case I didn't have to do that, but I just messed it up. Yeah, so here we go. And of course I'm going to keep this little part because it could be an embellishment on something. Okay, so we've got all the pieces, I believe, so we can get... Oh no, we still have one thing to run through once I've decided where this is going to go. So, this is going to be like this. This is going to go behind it. And it's going to turn, right? So, and I want the words, I'm going to want the words to show up. So, and I would like the words not to be too close to the edge, because the one I saw that they were showcasing, which is, it was really pretty, but the part that I didn't love so much was the fact that when it went to the top here, you could see whatever you had put, and I don't want that to happen for mine. So I'm thinking I want it more like higher up rather than lower down. So that's what I'm gonna try to do, I think. So this is where I want my die to go. So then what you do is you take this little piece. You could obviously do the like just use an X-Acto knife if you wanted, because you've got the design. But I'm gonna use the die since I've got it. And I've got the machine out and everything. And my plate just fell on the floor. Okay, so put this through. Okay, so got that done. Technically, I'm done with this. So I'm gonna, when I store it, I always store it this way so that my plate is attached to it and I'm not looking for it at the end. Okay, so then this is gonna go this way, and this gets attached to this. So I can attach this already to this piece. Attach that to this. Okay, so that's done. Pretty cool. Then I'm gonna need to attach this together. And this is going to get attached to the back piece. So let's say this, then whoops, put this so that it's over here. Like that. So now I'm going to remove this. I'm just going to punch and put a hole here. And I'm going to take one of the brads that Maureen sent me. I'm sure there must be one that I can use for this. Doesn't have to be big. Or very long. Put this to the back. Needs to be able to turn. And then I'm gonna need this to be on top here. I have to be careful not to glue this piece to it, so it's gonna have to be done very carefully, that I only glue like the corners and I don't glue the the middle part here so that it can actually turn like this. Okay, so then let's say we do this, and I'm gonna have, say I have here. Okay, then I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna have this here. I'm gonna turn. And I'm gonna have this here. Turn, and we're back to the first one. So I'm gonna have basically three sets of words. I thought it would be more, but because I put it so high, it's like really close to the middle. So obviously, like if you put it closer to the bottom, you would get more place for words, but that's fine because I don't want to have a ton of different words, you know. And I'll probably put like a sentiment right here so that it kind of finishes it off. You know, hashtag happy day or something. And so I was thinking hashtag best, then hashtag super, and there could be hashtag love. That would work. Because I need them to be small, right? I don't want them to be big. Here's my finger. I have small block. Put this underneath. Okay, so I've got love. Could be put like this. And I'm going to erase my lines afterwards because I don't want them to show. Okay, so that's one. Then hashtag best. How cool is that? I'm loving it. And hashtag super. Because basically this card is supposed to come from my kids, right? Even though now they're old enough to make their own, to give their own stuff to their dad, but I'm still gonna make a card because I'm not sure that they would think of making a card. That's more mommy's stuff. Okay, so I have some leftover white here. So let's use one of those to do the happy day. That's not that one. Be hello you, but I feel like it doesn't fit with. Could be happy day and hashtag you're the best. So let's do that. So we're the best, and happy day. I need to make sure that I align this kind of, and I do have the stuff that I could use to make sure that everything is aligned. And am I using it? Clearly not. Okay, so I think this would look good. Yes. I'm liking that. this. And I'm letting my other stamp dry because I want to cut around. Not to cut, but to erase around the thing, and I don't want to mess up the ink. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. Whoops. And then I'm thinking that it might be cute to have this on top of the gray instead of just having it on the white to make it pop a little bit more. So I'm gonna do that because why not? I have no clue how long this video is. It's probably gonna end up being more than my typical videos. Because it takes a little bit more time when you're designing something like of this nature, I find. Just the choosing of the paper and everything. And as you can see, you know, as the design is progressing, I'm changing my mind and adding some stuff. And just in general, it's just obviously gonna take me longer. And of course, I put it crooked. But that's okay, we'll figure this out. That's better. It's not perfect, but it's a little bit better. Okay, so then this is gonna go on top of this. See how much better I find it really finishes it off, even because now that I didn't put it like center, this way at least there's something there. So here we go. And these are just stamp sets that I've had in my stash for a while. One of them is from a company that I don't know if they're still they still exist, but it's made in the USA. So it was Stamploration, Sherry Russ. I was part of her like our subscription box type of thing for the longest of times, and I've got quite a lot of her stamps. I love them. Okay, so remove this. So now what we would have is this here. Turn, 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 turn. Best. Turn, 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 turn. Super. I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this down. I'm gonna glue those two pieces together as much as the best way I can. And this still turns, which is cool. And the way they were showcasing it, it was just this as a card. So obviously, I think they glued this part instead of doing what I just did, which is leaving it outside. But the reason I did it this way is because I don't really mind that it's like that, because I want it raised up from this. So I want to raise it up. And actually I could raise it up using another paper underneath to make even more layers. I want to do that, or do I want to leave it like this? So many decisions. You can tell, like, I really want this card to be perfect, because I want to show my husband how much we all love him. So I want to do something like that. That could be really pretty. Especially if I had a darker blue underneath this. Let's see in my scraps if I do have one. Because if I do, that would be my... That would be what I would do, I think. Or I could use this, which is the kind of like the pale blue. So it'd be something like that. That could work. I have darker. I have a darker piece, but it's not as big. Like it's thinner. And it's too thin for what I need. I have smaller strips, but I don't have any big ones. So I think that will be the one. And honestly, I think it's going to be a perfect combination. So let's do that. How exciting. I haven't used pattern paper, like new pattern paper, in such a long time because I try to use my scrap so much. So it's really exciting for me to actually use new papers. And as you can see, like they're new to me, but they're not new. Like they're from a thrift store. And I actually have like so many paper packs like this, the 6x6, that I really don't need to purchase any. And I also have the big 12x12. So honestly, like there's really no reason for me to be purchasing any paper. But sometimes, you know, you just want to have something a little bit new to you. And when I see Doodle Bug, I know how expensive that paper is. So when I found it at the thrift store and I like the designs, like the colors and stuff, didn't think I would be using it this way, but it's perfect. And of course, you know, just as I'm finishing, that's when my tape runner runs out. How not surprising. Like that's how life rolls. The good thing is it will be ready to go for my next card making session. So that's a good thing. Okay, so here we go. And underneath. And then I'm going to cut this down. So I want it like maybe about that. And it's going to make the white pop a little bit more too, so that's all good as well. Okay, so then this goes back. Whoops! This goes back into my bin. Find my paper. It fell underneath the chair, but in a difficult to reach place. Okay, so then I still need to cut this here. Piece down. So just need to make sure it's properly aligned. And because there's a checkered pattern, you kind of have to, you don't want it to look off center, you kind of have to align it properly, which I don't usually do. Here we go. And then that's going to go on top. How cool is that? So to put it on top, I was thinking of using this foam tape so that it's gonna raise this thing up and it's gonna make it easier to access the little thing to roll the little sentiments. use foam often, but I do have it, and it is useful sometimes too for stuff like this. Okay, so here we go. Remove that. Here we go. So here's my card. I'm so happy with how it turned out. So what do you guys think about it? I'm super happy that I got this die set from them, because this is the type of stuff that I would never do like on my own, trying to figure out how to cut the stuff and so on. Like this is complicated for me. So it's very cool that I had the die set and that I could use it this way. I was thinking like this would be a really fun card for kids as well, because you could put all sorts of things, like little stickers or whatever. In the video that they showed, they had little car stickers and stuff like that. And how cool would it be for a kid to play like this? So I'm very, very happy and excited about this card. Now the tough part will be not sharing it with my husband ahead of time, because I'm so proud of it. So I want to share it. But I love it. So looking forward to your comments, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this pretty long video. I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of those very long ones. So let me know what you think, and that's it for now. Have an amazing week. I will be back this week. I've got some more unboxing because I got some more items that are fun, but I also have I want to do another some of the projects that I've gotten the supplies for, so I want to share that with you guys. And yeah, so we shall see. Have fun. Bye.